in the backfield. It's going to be a great matchup.
It's weapons.
And I mentioned it earlier. We've got Aaron Jones, their star running back, a feature with him on the pregame show. If you have not seen this young man, you're going to be really impressed when you do. We've also got a feature on Dalvin Cook, who should be in the MVP race conversation as the Minnesota Vikings take on the Dallas Cowboys. Those are America's games of the week on Sunday. We are done here on Thursday Night Football. Coming up on Fox, except on the West Coast, it's your late local news. And on the NFL Network, it's the Mercedes-Benz postgame show. For Michael Vick, Tony Gonzalez, I'm Kurt Menefee. So long.
Welcome to the Mercedes-Benz postgame show.
The Seahawks land back in first place in the NFC West, a 7-point win over the Cardinals. Tyler Lockett led the way for Seattle's receivers there, 9 for 67 and that touchdown. Russ's second touchdown of that first half. They get away here, 28-21, the win over the Cardinals. Welcome in, everybody, to the postgame show. I'm Colleen Wolfe with Joe Thomas, Michael Irvin, Steve Smith Sr. A lot to unpack in this game. The Seahawks, they stay perfect at home this year. They split the season series with the Cardinals. But most importantly, look at the standings now. They get back into that first place spot in the NFC West with the 7-3 record. They're now 2-2 in the division. And what that does is get them back up to the number 3 seed there in the NFC playoff picture, dropping the Cardinals down to number 7. And keep in mind, too, as we talked about in the pre-show, that this Seahawks team has the easiest strength of schedule going forward. So they face the Eagles next on the road. They have the NFC East coming their way. So let's talk about this, Irv. Let's talk about the last 3 Cardinals plays here and what went down. What did you see?
Well, we talked about this. We knew this game's going to come down to the late plays. Kyler made the plays last meeting and made it last week, but right here came up a little short. You see this right here on just the dark seam route by Larry Fitzgerald. That's a hard throw. You got to get that ball up and down. Now, this throw to Isabella right here. Just let it go now. If he lets this ball go a little sooner, he makes that throw. That should have been made. That could have easily been a touchdown, but he lets go a little late. And great recovery by the defense. And great right here. This is the difference right here. They went out and got pass rush. It's so interesting because we came into this game talking about the weakness of the defense, and the defense stepped up and helped win this game when Russell Wilson only threw for, less than 200 yards.
You're absolutely correct, Irv, but also, too, if you go back to the Andy Isabella throw or catch, that is, you see Diggs allows, they're going for the end zone. They have to go for the end zone. Why are you allowing yourself not to get as deep as the receiver? All DBs are taught, especially at the end of the game with, less than 15 seconds left, a go-ahead touchdown for the win. Keep your eyes on your luggage, and that has been a prop that's plagued this team all season long, and it allowed the Arizona Cardinals to come back into this game. And you can see the shift of momentum with the Arizona Cardinals against the Seattle Seahawks. So they have to play better on defense. They ran the ball excellent. They blocked them up, but that defense is a liability for the Seahawks and will continue to be. Hey, they do have the the homecoming team that you played before prom night, and that team is called the Dallas Cowboys. So luckily, they're okay.
I think you're just trying to get a little reaction there out of Irv. Listen, that Seahawks defense, they did hold the Cardinals there to a season low in rushing yards. Kyler Murray to a season low in rushing yards as well. But as you mentioned, they were able to run the ball. The Seahawks were in this game. And, Joe, that feels like that was the difference for this offense. Do you agree?
Yeah, that was what's been missing for the Seahawks team in the last few weeks. And I think that's a big reason why Russell Wilson had so many turnovers in the last few games. There was so much being put on his plate. Defenses were throwing caution to the wind, and they were blitzing right and left because they didn't have to worry about any sort of a running game. But when you get Carlos Hyde back, you got a guy who carries for 14 times for over 75 yards, and they had 150 yards on the ground as a team. So they brought some physicality back. They brought some respect back to their running game, and that really opened up everything for Russell Wilson. It didn't put as much on his plate, and he was able to be efficient. No turnovers. That was huge. 23 out of 28 throwing the football, not having to take the type of risks that he was taking in weeks past because he had no rushing game. So the return of Carlos Hyde, that was huge for the Seattle Seahawks. And when Chris Carson comes back, that's going to be even bigger. And I expect them to revert to the team that we saw at the beginning of the season that started so well.
Joe, we were able to see Russell Wilson not press as much. He wasn't under that much pressure because he had that running game, as you just said. So what a win for them. No turnovers either.
So Carlos Dunlap wasn't even on the Seahawks. He was with the Bengals, but tonight he had 2 sacks that may have saved Seattle's season, turning it around after they had lost 3 or 4, helping them get the win tonight over the Arizona Cardinals to move into first place of the NFC West. Kurt Menefee along with Michael Vick and Tony Gonzalez. And Tony, it wasn't just Carlos Dunlap tonight. This Seattle defense, probably their best game of the year, holding Arizona to a season low in both yards and points.
Yeah, well, and that's what they needed. This is just what the doctor ordered if you are a Seattle Seahawks fan, because this kind of completes the puzzle for them. If they can ride this momentum going against a really potent offense, Kyler Murray. But for them to come up, this is why you go get Carlos Dunlap, because they're serious about making that deep playoff run. They got to put pressure on opposing teams' quarterback. That has been their Achilles heel all season long. To go with Jamal Adams getting healthy too. Now they can maybe catch up to that offense. They can at least just be halfway good, be somewhere in the middle of the rankings instead of ranked dead last, which is what they were coming into this game. It's a really good showing for the Seattle Seahawks defensive side of the ball today.
While it was Carlos Dunlap on defense, Michael Vick, it was really Carlos Hyde and that running game on offense that really helped tonight.
It was Carlos Hyde and Bo Scarborough. I thought they both stepped up and took a lot of pressure off of Russell Wilson. And sometimes your offense can be your best line of defense. They kept Kyler Murray on the sideline. They put together long, sustained drives, and it really helped out in the long run. So when it was all said and done, Seattle Seahawks was able to go down the field, put the ball in the end zone multiple times, kick field goals, keep Kyle on the sideline. That was extremely important to the win in this game.
Yeah, and Russell Wilson, no turnovers. You know, he's had 7 turnovers over these last 2 weeks. You play that type of ball with the good defense and the running game, that's what you want with Pete Carroll and that Seattle.
Yeah, Russell played really well tonight. He's our progressive player of the game. In fact, he was 23 of 28 passing, only 197 passing yards, but he had 2 touchdowns, and as you said, more importantly, 0 turnovers. Just moments ago, Russell Wilson with Aaron Andrews.
I don't know what you were singing. I don't know what you were thinking on 4th and 10, but I think all of us were thinking we saw what Kyler Murray did last week, and could he do it again? So what were you thinking there as you were singing to yourself on 4th and 10?
Man, I always sing in the middle of the game, and it just keeps me poised. It keeps me neutral. But you know, we had a great game. I think obviously Kyler's made some great plays this season. Obviously, them coming off a Hail Mary last week, you know, I've seen that before. You know, I go back to my college days with Kirk Cousins, and then the next week Ohio State. So, you know, it gets you a little bit nervous. But no, we played a great game. Obviously, Carlos Dunlap making that last play. That's why we brought him here. A huge addition. Key plays. We ran the ball extremely well today. We threw it well. We made our plays, and it was great.
And you know what the narrative coming into this game was, Russell. You said it yourself. I need to make better decisions. Obviously, the talk was the turnovers the last 2 games. How much did this balanced attack really help you not put it all on your shoulders?
Well, I thought we ran the ball extremely well. That always helps, you know, when we have great running backs. Obviously, Carlos Hyde's been a 1,000, plus rusher for several times, I believe, and just has done so many things for us. Obviously, DJ Dallas has been good for us all year when he stepped in. We're excited to get Chris Carson back here soon. And, you know, it always helps. I think our receivers have been spectacular. Our offensive line protecting extremely well. They do so many things with their pressure packages, and I thought we handled it really well. And we were prepared. We were ready to go. Coach Scheide called a great game. And we were locked in, zoned in. DK Metcalf going off, making some plays. And Tyler Lockett, once again, is so clutch.
Yeah, and obviously we saw Carlos Dunlap with that sack. And what a great job your defense did against this rushing attack with Arizona.
Yeah, it was huge, you know, and I think that for us to be able to play such great defense like that, Bobby was all over the field, Jamal, Carlos, so many guys made so many plays. It was a great game, and we really coached up well. And it was a huge win, our first win at Lumen Field, and we're excited about it.
Yeah, must win, as some of your teammates told me this week. Good to see that smile on your face. Thanks, Russ.
Thank you, Aaron. Always a pleasure. Go Hawks.
That's why Russell's Russell. He mentioned every